Meta is surging.
Yes.
So clearly, whatever we said does not matter because everyone is back on Instagram. Everyone's apparently on Facebook, which I had no idea. Still a billion people still use Facebook every day. Mark Zuckerberg's net worth went up $28 billion.
I'm just shocked. They have 3.03 billion monthly active users.
So let me tell you something. Last year, this time, Meta made $4.65 billion of profit. This last quarter, Meta made $14 billion of profit. So the cost cutting clearly worked. Revenue growth was 25%, which is just bananas at their stage.
This is clearly just like a financial engineering genius. Zuck did everything the market wanted.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
All right, Cathies, we are back for a very wet episode of Group Chat. You know, California rarely has any weather issues, but I don't know what an atmospheric river is. That is the hype in the California news cycle.
I think it's global. So Ken, our friend who lives in Dubai, Philippines, texted me at noon Pacific time today.
Talking about the atmospheric river?
Yeah, he's like, are you safe?
Yeah.
And it hadn't started raining yet.
I mean, to be fair, so Dominic had soccer at 11 a.m. So I think it started raining around 1 p.m.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, I just drove over here. It is fucking raining.
It's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
So on average, California gets 22 inches of rain. I think last year we got double, like 40, 50 inches of rain. I don't remember the exact number. Next 24 hours, we're getting 5 inches.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
So basically it's like 25% of the annual.
Yeah. And we have rain. That's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It also rained past week. It rained a day or two. All I care about, I don't want anyone to tell me about watering my fucking lawn. I want to water as much as I want. I'm going to let that shower run as long as I want. I don't want to hear about a drought for the next 2 fucking years.
Yeah, I mean, I think 5 inches in 3 days solves the whole year's problem.
No, you need 22.
But I mean, we've had rain.
Yeah.
It's not like this is the first.
And then we're going to get
rain.
probably 7, 8, 10 inches this week.
Do we know why the atmospheric?
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know.
I'm not. And by the way, I actually look up rain shit. Like I'm genuinely interested in rain just because all of the rules the last couple of years on like watering your lawn and then these dynamically high water bills that we were receiving during the drought era. So I haven't looked it up. I will look it up later. We can discuss more, seeing how the week. But typically what happens after a very rainy season is usually like a brush fire season, which is not good.
No, it's not good. I guess the only upside is the snow has been pretty bad for skiers.
Yeah.
So I think skiers are going to benefit.
I mean, California was basically dry for December. Yeah. Like only man-made snow all over California.
Even in the other states.
Yeah.
People were complaining in Montana and Utah, like the ritzy places people ski.
Great skiing for President's Day weekend, which is coming up in a few weeks.
2 weekends.
Yeah, because you got rain through this week. Even this weekend, I think you have rain. And then you'll have a ton of fresh powder.
And everyone's in Aspen, by the way, and it looked like it was snowing.
Yeah.
From all the Instagrams.
Everyone's always in Aspen. It's this time of year.
Isn't it kind of accelerated, though? Because when I click on Insta Story, it's just Aspen.
Well, I think because they've also made it like Aspen, like whenever the first time I went, which is probably like 8-10 years ago, it was crowded. It was fun, but it's not like what Snow Lodge, Revolve, every night partying.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a party destination.
Yeah. Cause I think 10 years ago, the only reason you go to Aspen is if you wanted to ski.
Like Belly Up in Aspen, there was a club. That was like the only place people went out.
I think it's still the place.
Okay. So, I mean, like Nas performed there like a few weeks ago.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was the only place I vividly remember that was like a nightclub.
Yeah.
And then there was all like the Caribou Club, all the members clubs and the hotels and whatever. But it wasn't like a party place. Now it's like Miami.
Yeah. Now I think, what do you think? 50% of the people that are around our age ski? That just go for the vibe?
Yeah, go for the vibes. It's an expensive place to go for vibes.
Yes.
Because the difference is in like, let's say Miami, you could stay in like Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Or you could stay in Windward.
Or you just stay at a lesser hotel.
Yeah. Aspen,
there's so many
there isn't
hotels.
a lot of the cheaper spots. It's a pretty expensive place to visit.
But it is like so buzzing on Instagram, and like, congrats to Revolve. I see that Revolve Snow Lodge.
Yeah.
that logo.
Yeah.
Whoever's DJing
Yeah.
every day. Everyone's posting it.
Great for them. I wonder if it's affiliated with the Surf Lodge in Montauk.
It's definitely New York related.
So it's Surf
but I don't
Lodge.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one in Montauk. Okay, great. Good for them. Happy for them. You know who's not happy about that? Jerome Powell, because he was on 60 Minutes today.
So we have different views because I've caught probably 10 clips. So it was aired on the East Coast, 4 p.m. Pacific time. So it wasn't available for us. So it's airing right now as we're recording.
No, it aired for everyone
Oh, really?
because of the Grammys.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Damn, I should have just turned it on.
Yeah, it was on.
I was
When
just
you told me, I turned it on.
Okay, I just was catching the clips.
Yeah.
So you watched the full?
I watched the migrants one. I missed Jerome Powell. I saw the clips though.
Yeah, so I saw the clips, and it depends on which media publication you look at, how to interpret what Jerome Powell is saying.
Yeah.
So you sent a CNBC article that was doom and gloom.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason why it was doom and gloom is he indicated that more than likely March will not be a rate cut, which I don't like hearing that.
But no, I think everyone's kind of baked that in. So if you look at the betting markets,
December they were baking.
yeah, 100%. No,
Yeah.
in December it was like March, May, June, July,
Everything.
everything. I think after his last speech last week, everyone has kind of accepted March is off the table, and May, June, July are the windows.
So then that's one piece of news, which I didn't want him to say that. That's annoying to me. Shut the fuck up. Don't even talk about March. Then he says maybe 3 cuts.
He also said I think there's 19 Federal Reserve governors.
All agree.
Or he said for the most part.
No, I think he said all of them said there has to be rate cuts.
There has to be rate cuts. He doesn't give a shit about regional banks.
Yeah.
So that's off the table.
So that's not good. That means there's no urgency. That's my
He's
point.
basically like, look, the big banks are fine.
Yeah.
It's all going to Jamie Dimon.
Yeah. He said politics will not influence, which I don't believe.
I don't believe that either.
He's going to hook Sleepy
What
up.
I actually didn't realize how long he's been the chair. So Obama appointed him
Before Bernanke?
after Bernanke.
After Bernanke. Yeah.
After Bernanke, Powell, then through Trump, through Biden. That's a long time.
Yeah.
So you're talking.
So right after the financial crisis.
2000, Obama's 12, right? No.
Yeah, but
2008.
Financial crisis was Bernanke.
He was. So Bernanke might have left,
Yeah.
sometime in the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Don't know the exact timing. And then it was Powell.
Yeah.
So he's been in office almost 15 years
Yeah.
as the federal chair.
I mean, I know you don't like him. I think he's done a great job.
I have a lot of arguments with very smart people in finance and investing that disagree with me. They think I'm an idiot.
I think he's done it. I think he's all about the markets. The markets have ripped under him. That's why the meme, the money printer,
Yeah.
all he cares about is the market. He just has to cool it off. This last week, what happened was so bad for the markets.
What, that the tech companies ripped?
Ripped. Really bad. The problem is it was like 4 companies that ripped. Everything else did not go up.
So here's my thing. I think it's irrespective of who the Fed chair would have been, the economy would have been fine because there's so much cash in the system that it didn't matter. And you can make the argument he steered the ship, but he was wrong on every step of the way in his public statements. So if you're going to tell me his public statements,
maybe that's purposeful.
you can make that argument.
Yeah, I am.
But I'm saying what he said publicly for the last 2.5 years has, I would say, at the most part, been wrong in every sense of the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think his job is to give head fakes because he doesn't want people. It's not good if everyone knows every single move. And so this is part of the reason why.
Seems like Bill Ackman knows every move.
This is part of the reason why I'm not bullish on the stock market this year. I think to me, it's very similar to what I've always said, which you saw a little bit of that with Bitcoin. It's buy the rumor, sell the news. I think people are expecting interest rates to go to fucking zero by like August.
No, I think people have tempered their expectations.
Yeah, but like the markets have not. The markets have not. The markets have been ripping.
They just know. So you just look at the
Nasdaq's
10-year.
at a high. S&P's at a high. Dow's at a high. Like, and the real economy is good. It's good. It's not great. It's good. But when you're all-time highs, you should be trending upwards. We're not trending upwards.
You're saying the real economy is not trending upwards.
Yeah, I think the real economy is like plateaued.
The last quarter, the GDP growth was
Bonkers.
exceptional, 3.5%.
Yeah.
That's as good as you're going to get in an economy.
Yeah.
Booming in a bull market.
Yeah.
So are you saying you think the first quarter is going to be soft?
I think January was already soft. I think we're seeing early data. I mean, so the jobs report came out.
I guess it all depends on how you think about the economy and how it relates to you.
So I think as it relates to me personally, I'm fine. It hasn't had the impact. I think how it has related to low income wage workers, I think they got a big lift on wages, whether they, public wants to accept it or not, but low income wage workers got a huge raise over the last 3 years. It's not in line with what they should have gotten over the last 10 years, but they got a lift. They have a little bit more cash in their pocket, but inflation is still real. And the problem is even inflation, what was it, 3%? It's still 3% above
3.4% from
the previous year,
which was 8%.
Yeah, exactly. So like inflation, unfortunately, is the biggest culprit of the day that is affecting why Americans feel like they don't have money, is because they're paying for things that just cost more money. And that is what's affecting their psyche of like going out to eat is gut wrenching.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
It's so gut wrenching.
But there's no shortage of people that are willing to fill these restaurants.
I know. And that's why, to Jerome Powell's credit, he's like, you ain't stopping spending. So what the fuck do I care? It doesn't impact. So we know if we just spend, inflation continues to go. Maybe it has curbed enough spending where inflation doesn't go out of control. But that is the purpose of keep raising interest rates, where at some point, some people go out and be like, whoa.
But can't you make the argument that the places you're talking about and that I'm talking about?
I'll give you an example. I went to Saturday night, me, Dominic, and Miles, just the three of us. Haley wasn't feeling well. At 4:45, went to El Coyote.
Okay.
El Coyote is a mid-tier Mexican restaurant.
It is, but it's like a spot in LA.
Okay.
It's been around like 70 years.
Okay.
People know about it.
Okay. But 5 p.m., I had to wait for a table for 30 minutes. Sat down. I had 2 drinks. Kids had shared an entree.
And just for context, El Coyote is definitely more price point given the area.
Yes.
It's like significantly lower than any of the neighboring restaurants.
Yes. I got one entree for the kids.
This is like a $10 quesadilla.
Yeah. It's not expensive.
No.
I got one Dominic and Miles shared steak tacos, rice and beans for them. We ordered a nachos for all of us, the regular nachos, $10. And then I had a tostada. And then Haley, we ordered an enchilada to go. With tax and tip, what was my bill?
2 drinks, tacos, nachos, $85.
And enchiladas.
100.
150.
150.
That's what it was for the three of us.
And you didn't even get an entree.
I got a tostada.
Okay. You got a
Salad.
salad. That's a
150,
lot.
no dessert.
They took out their huevos rancheros.
They
Really
changed their menu. It was kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
They used to have a much more expansive menu. I think their business is so good. They're like, fuck you. We're going to raise prices and we're going to suck out everything you guys
I can't
want.
believe it was a 30-minute wait at 5 p.m.
Yeah. It's insane. And then they hit you with the $12 at the valet. And then I had to use a credit card, $2 surcharge. I'm at $14. So it was a $164 experience to take these little shits. I made them eat the leftovers today.
It's good.
For lunch, I was like, they're like, oh, we want this. We want pizza from across the street. We want this. And then I'm like, no, you're eating tacos and rice and beans. So now at least I got 2 meals out of it, which is now $80.
Yeah. Split the baby.
I made everyone eat the leftovers. Haley too.
That's smart.
I was like, fuck this. This is ridiculous. But I think, so the jobs report came out.
You know what the hack is?
What?
So I only go with the kids.
Yeah.
I go to 2 restaurants.
Yeah.
They don't charge me for shit. I had full French toast, eggs.
What do they actually charge you for? Just some de minimis amount?
It was $25.
Yeah.
This morning.
That's why I go to H-Wood. The problem is H-Wood restaurants don't open until 6 fucking p.m. It's so annoying. If
And
Nice
even
Guy
for
was
dinner, I don't
open-
want to out the restaurants because I don't want to like put them out there. But there's 2 places I go. They charge me very reasonably.
I don't have the casual spot. I can't, like, if I go to Nice Guy, they hook me up, but that's at like 6 p.m. If Nice Guy opened at 5 p.m., my wealth would double.
Yeah.
I'd be a millionaire.
Yeah, like
Billionaire. I might be a billionaire.
Breakfast today for me and Vivian, $25.
Yeah.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah, I can't. We're not getting that anywhere. Even when we go to like Pawn, which is like Dominic's favorite place, which is like basically a chain bakery, it's $50 for him to get an avocado toast, me to get a coffee and avocado toast.
Yeah, and the place I'm going is like it's a nice establishment. And they set everything up. Kids can throw food everywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I don't have a casual spot like that. The only place where I get a great deal is Sam's Bagel on Sunset. I get a bagel and an orange juice. Both the kids are satisfied. $10. That is a deal.
That's good. Yeah, they'll throw in a croissant. They don't care. They just give me anything.
Yeah, you get to give them enough business where it's worth it.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on. January jobs report came out this on Friday. Blockbuster number. Double the predictions. Like 300-something thousand on 170,000 expected. Everyone was just sticker shock when that number came out.
Yeah.
Then people started digging deeper. So there's 2 caveats to this number that make something about I never believed government displayed data. I never, 20 years, 30 years I've been following these numbers since fucking high school. I just never believe. I don't even believe the GDP, to be fair. I don't believe the jobs data. I've never believed any of these numbers. I think they're full of shit. This jobs data number is completely full of shit. The reason why is there's 2 reasons. One, currently the US has 8.6 million people that are holding 2 or more jobs, and part-time jobs count in that jobs number. Government spending has increased government jobs through the roof. So I'm okay with the government jobs being included, but I think you have to separate that to the public and say, great, the government is investing in infrastructure, so we have this jobs report. Because the head fake is that, the real economy, the real companies are out there hiring. That's just not the case. Most companies are either on a hiring freeze or have very limited hiring.
So I think it's how our universe is, right? So obviously you have a venture-backed company and you're talking to venture-backed companies and you're talking to kind of the sophisticated workspace. And that is definitely on a freeze, if not
Layoffs.
declining.
Yeah.
like I saw Twitch has laid off 35%.
What white collar? Yeah.
The white collar jobs. But in aggregate, it's still not a big number.
Yeah. I don't believe, let's remove tech. I'm saying even in the low income wage workers,
I think they can get a job wherever they want.
I know. I don't think they're taking them though. Every place I go needs help wanted. They don't no one wants a job.
So that's why unemployment's at the lowest. And we have literally like the lowest unemployment.
That, but I also do believe on the second job piece, because of inflation, there is an issue with why people need more income. It's because they're just not getting enough to live their life. The other fascinating stat, and I cannot verify it because I just saw it as a headline in an article and I didn't read the article, but it said something that from ages 18 to 29, nearly half of people are living with their parents.
That I believe. That's been a trend for the last decade.
It's like Japan, India.
Yeah, I think kids are basically like, hey, I'd rather just live with my parents and take the cash and go to Stagecoach.
So I think if you think about it from that perspective, then the real economy...
They're just waiting. This is going to sound really morbid. They're waiting for their parents to die so they can take the house.
Okay, so then they're there till they're 50.
Yeah.
These
certainly possible.
Unless you're unhealthy, you're living way longer now. They're giving mom and dad McDonald's.
Yeah, they're just trying to poison them. They're doing the slow Menendez brothers.
Yeah.
The legal Menendez brothers.
Yeah, I actually think it's more... I'm going to equate this to something that's interesting. So the Apple Vision Pro came out last week. And I've read the big Apple products reviewer, like a Casey Neistat or Marquise Brownlee, these people.
He did a video. I saw Casey Neistat.
And they've all said, most of them have said very positive things. Like, of the AR, VR products, this is the most groundbreaking piece of technology. And everyone who is like an avid Apple person thinks it's incredible.
So it's interesting that you say that because I have a bunch of like Apple nerds and the majority did not buy it.
I think there's sticker shock with the price.
But these people aren't that price sensitive.
Yeah, but I think it's like...
these are like the people that would be the first person to buy the new iPhone.
I know, I agree, but I think $3,500 plus tax.
It's 4K all in with the accessories.
Yeah, so you're plus tax. I think it's more.
Yeah.
So you're $4,200 in. Even for a rich person, like I saw someone at Big Five today pull up in like a $130,000 car. They're with their daughter, and he was like, "Oh, that's a $100 bet." And I was like, bro, you just pulled up in a $130,000 car. What the fuck are you telling your daughter about $100?
And I think
that's why I do think there's sticker shock. But let me tell you how I relate, circle this back to the conversation we're having about 18 to 29-year-olds. I look at the Apple Vision Pro. I look at the functionality and the dream they're selling you. Basically that you put these goggles on and you're going to get to live in the reality you want, right? Why do they want to sell you that? It's just conceptually thinking. Most people have come to the realization they cannot live in the reality in the real world. So let's live in reality in my virtual world.
So you're saying they don't get to go to the hot party, the hot event?
Forget all that. Forget even that part. That is like a pipe dream. I'm talking about, I think the average person today does not have hope in realizing like all of their dreams and potentials because of, there's just been so much despair and struggling in society that I think the average person does feel a little like, just like, fuck this, I don't care. And so
$4,200 solves your problems.
But think about it, like $4,200.
So you don't have to book the Coachella ticket.
Why? You're probably going to get a better experience. But I actually do believe the Apple Vision Pro net is horrible for society. I bet you in a year that product's gonna be phenomenal. That'll eventually come down to $500, $1,000. It'll be $1,000. iPhone's $1,000. This will be $1,000 or $1,500.
But iPhone's only gone up since it came out.
Yeah, they probably underpriced it in the beginning. Apple, we all know, is a luxury product. I think Apple Vision Pro will come down, and I think it will be a generational technology shift type product. But I think it's so fucking bad. I mean, think about it. People are I see it with young people all the time. I actually believe most young people are smarter than they've ever been.
Yep. I agree
their
with that.
awareness is so high.
I mean, there's so many avenues to learn.
Yes. I think their social capabilities are lower than ever. I think they grew up, like, I know there's a lot of people that say video games are great. I see a lot of nerds on Twitter saying, I grew up on video games. It changed my life, blah, 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 whatever. It gave me community, made me smart at math or whatever. I don't know, whatever. I didn't really play video games. We played a little bit.
We played like Madden and NBA.
Yeah, but like whatever.
We weren't like doing it nonstop.
And I'll be honest, with my kids, like, I'm not going to be a video game person. Like, I think sitting in front of a screen, net is negative. No matter how smart they become, I care more about their like social capabilities. I think if you take gaming, you take social media, and then you layer on an Apple Vision Pro, I think the average young person, and particularly male, is going to struggle even more socially. And then things like depression and obesity get even worse. You cannot sit on your phone or with goggles and think you're going to live life. I'm sorry. You know why the richest people in the world, they have the old iPhone and a flip phone? Because it doesn't fucking matter. Mm-hmm. They're living life.
Well, it's also a flex. When you're really rich, you want the cheapest phone.
Yes, but no, but
you know the people we're talking about.
I know, but the flex is, I do not care what's happening here. Yeah. I'm out there living.
Yeah.
And I think if you think about it from that perspective, it's the masses that are on their phones, on their fucking Apple Vision Pro, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think it's a net negative for society, 100%. I don't know if you saw the meme, a doctor looking at their patient. Is this the only version of birth control are you using? And it's the Vision Pro.
Vision Pro. Yeah. Think about it. I actually feel genuinely bad, particularly for younger males, because I feel like they're missing out like so much on like life because of social media, video games, and this general lack of like going out there and putting yourself out there, where it's like girls aren't playing video games. Right? Like, they're on social media, but they're not playing video games. So at least they have like one.
I'm curious. You obviously have a lot of young people in your company. We don't need to name names, but Javier, obviously, who's been on the pod a bunch of times, he has thrived socially. I can have a conversation with him.
I think he doesn't play video games.
He's 25.
Yeah,
right?
But I'm just telling you, he was a swimmer in college.
Because I'm 40 and I can go up to him and talk to him about anything.
I'll give you the path. He played sports growing up, played sports in college. He didn't have time for anything else. It was school, sports. And I think it just results in a different type of person. You can argue whether it's better or worse, but socially, it's kind of like why I'm pushing my kids into sports so much, because you have to interact with kids. You have to put yourself.
Yeah, that's
and what's crazy is I see it in our own social circle. A lot of parents are not pushing their kids into sports. Boys, girls, they don't want their kids in sports.
Is that a city thing? Because the Valley is all sports.
Yeah, maybe it must be a city thing, because they're like, parents will be like, oh, my kid's really not into sports. I'm like, so? I don't give a shit if my kids are into sports or not. It's not
about being good. It's about interacting, being a teammate.
Yes. It's just about social interaction and like getting vitamin D and like being outside. It's like the most basic things of humanity you get. Particularly like, I don't have a lot of faith in like young men. Like, I think the video games and porn and social media, it's
OnlyFans.
It's OnlyFans. Like, oh, I can't get this girl, but whatever. I'll go home and jerk off to the girl of my dreams anytime I want.
To any girl.
Any girl. Right? Like, you kind of be like, I'm satisfied. Whatever. Do you know how hard it is for a guy to go out to a bar and talk? So like I obviously have young males that work for me. I have young women that work for me. And they tell me of their stories with dates with guys. I hope that one day they'll come on a pod and share. They're fucking insane.
I've heard a few from your young, very exceptional workers.
Yeah.
The dates, and it's kind of crazy.
Crazy what these people are saying to these girls. Like, I literally am like, holy shit. I mean, they're going on weekly dates and the stories, they'll have story time. And I'm like, oh my God, how are you going to ever find someone with this? This is your pool?
But this is the biggest ARB of all time. If you're a sub 30-year-old male.
And normal.
If you could just have a conversation.
Yeah.
And
don't be self-absorbing.
Be confident.
Yes.
Be empathetic.
You're confident but not arrogant.
Confident, not arrogant. Be empathetic.
Yes. And not
be a dick.
Yeah.
And just be like throwing a few funny jabs.
Yeah. And pay for things.
And you'll get any girl you want.
I truly believe you can get any, like if you're a sub 30-year-old guy and have a slight bit of those things, you should be thriving.
Yeah, and I think that the problem is those guys get too many of the girls.
Yes.
So they don't settle.
Yeah, they don't settle. It's like, this is too easy. I'm confident. And by the way, I don't even think these guys have money for the most part.
I don't think you need money.
No, you don't. Girls make money now. They don't need money. They're not looking for money. They're looking for a normal human being.
They're looking for a good conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unbelievable. Like, it's sad. So net negative, I think Apple Vision Pro is the worst thing ever.
I think it's worse. It's the second iteration of how bad social media was for society.
Yeah.
Is Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah.
If this gets at scale.
If it works where
It's
everyone
terrible.
has it.
Yeah.
If I'm a lawmaker, I'm banning AR, VR headsets till you're fucking 18 immediately. We already saw, it's the same thing with AI. You have a chance to do basic regulation. And I'm not saying regulate it for everyone, but I think it needs to be out of the hands of kids. I think kids do not need to be exposed to these things till later in life. I just don't see the benefit. We don't let them drink alcohol. We don't let them smoke. We don't let them fucking carry guns. We don't let them do these things. This is equally as bad. This is the new weapon.
I 100% agree. I think kids just need to hang out with each other.
On that note, Meta is surging.
Yes.
So clearly, whatever we said does not matter because everyone is back on Instagram. Everyone's apparently on Facebook, which I had no idea. Still a billion people still use Facebook every day.
I think it's 2.
2, okay. I think so the Meta universe has like, what was it, 3+ billion users a day.
If you combine WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, it's like 3.5 billion.
Yeah.
So it's half the world.
Yeah. I mean, and by the way, I think only half the world has the internet.
No, there's like 5-6 billion smartphones in the world.
So who are these billion people that don't have Instagram?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
There's still market share.
There's still market share to gain. I mean, eventually you're going to cave and get Instagram, right? So Meta came out. And what's funny was in last Sunday's episode, we were talking about Temu supposedly was spending $4.5 billion a quarter on Meta for ads. It is now reported in their earnings that 10% of their $40 billion they spent, that's $4 billion, came from China. It's only one company.
Yeah.
I'm the only Chinese company I get served ads from is Temu, which crushed their earnings. Talking about AI.
Yep.
Mark Zuckerberg's net worth went up $28 billion. They made what was their profit? It's like 15 billion.
So there's 6.84 billion smartphones in the world and 3 billion active Facebook users. So they have a lot of room to cover.
Who are these people that are not?
So you're just in like a village in India. You're like, I'm not using Instagram or WhatsApp.
Let me tell you something. The village in India is not the problem. All those villagers are on. Have you ever been in an airport? Everyone's on it.
I'm just shocked. They have that much. If 3.03 billion monthly active users.
So let me tell you something. Last year, this time, Meta made $4.65 billion of profit. This last quarter, Meta made $14 billion of profit. So the cost cutting clearly worked. Revenue growth was 25%, which is just bananas at their stage. Is there any risk with Temu being the big reason why they grew?
It's potential. I think this is a classic example, Facebook specifically, and the number of listeners that have made a lot of money from my call from November of 2022. I'm the only idiot that didn't.
You're the only one that didn't participate.
I didn't participate. I should have bought options. I would have made a fortune. And this is clearly just like a financial engineering genius. He did everything
the market wanted to do.
Zuck did everything the market wanted.
Cut cost.
He fired 25,000 employees, I think.
Yeah.
I think he went from 87,000 to 63,000 or something like that. He told the market, I'm not focused on AR and VR. I'm focused on AI.
Yeah.
Right?
He didn't mention a fucking thing. I feel bad for his name. Meta is just the dumbest name.
Yeah, he should change it again. Yeah. He should have, if he had changed it to AI in that call, it'd be up 6x.
Yeah.
And he did the buyback, which basically, increases earnings per share.
And then he dropped a dividend.
And he did everything like, hey, I know how to play this game. And look, at this point, Zuck's not motivated by money. This guy's been worth over 100 billion for, a long time. He's motivated by building a great company that's going to be everlasting.
I think he wants to be the richest man in the world. I know it's not about the money of being the richest man in the world.
He can't afford.
No. But
he wants to get Elon.
You want to be it's Elon. And by the way, now Bezos is creeping up on
Bezos, who's retired,
who hasn't done a damn thing, is now set to be the richest man. I think this week, if LVMH or Tesla dip, Bezos is the richest man this week. I think that matters. I'm sorry.
And Bezos post-divorce,
where he gave way half his money.
I think he gave a third,
whatever. What, that 50 billion he gave?
I think he gave like 30 at the time.
That's insane. And he's just out there fucking doing push-ups.
Push-ups and yachts.
But Meta, it delivered on the numbers. It's clearly the only place to advertise on the internet outside of Google. TikTok is coming, but not there yet. So it's Meta, it's Google, and everyone else.
Yeah.
Come take. Nobody's proven to be as effective as Meta for digital advertising. I think Google is a close second, but it's not first.
Yeah, I mean, they also released the AI bot that I talked about in the Discord.
Did they actually release it?
It's on WhatsApp.
How do you do it?
So go on your home screen of WhatsApp. Ian Rogers actually tweeted at me like, "How do you figure it out?" And he's like, "Maybe it's not on Android." So go to your home screen? Do you see that circle?
No. Chat.
It's a circle.
Okay, I have to. What?
So I'll tell you what I did. I said, "Who is Dude Bro?" And said, "Dude Bro is Anthony Saleh. He manages Nas, the rapper, and various other artists." Wow. How the fuck did Meta AI know that? They went through my contacts. They knew Dude Bro is Anthony Saleh, and they searched everything. It's putting OpenAI to shame.
So OpenAI is over.
I don't think anyone can compete with this. Put it per prompt.
Okay. I did put, it was wrong.
What'd you put?
I put how many Grammys did Taylor Swift win today? And it didn't.
It hasn't finished.
Why don't you know that shit? It's over. Grammys are over.
Is it? I think it's still going.
No, it's over. It said as of today, she had won 12. She won 13. I saw it.
Give it an hour.
What else? Give me something else. How many touchdowns? I need to think something more clever.
I mean, Dude Bro is pretty insane.
Is group chat the number one podcast in the world? Let's see. All right, we'll see what they say. Let's see how clever this fucking meta group chat is. A popular podcast, but it is not the number one podcast in the world. It's important to note that podcast rankings can vary depending on the source and methodology.
Not a bad answer.
However, group chat has a dedicated audience and has been well received for its unique blend of humor and discussion on current events.
All right, put it in ChatGPT and see what you see.
Same shit. I think the thing is ChatGPT, it's a different app that I'm not naturally going to, whereas WhatsApp I'm on 500 times a day. That's the difference. So I do think
WhatsApp will just have more data.
Yeah, it's why Instagram Reels won against Snapchat on Story.
Yeah,
it's just you already have all the people release all of this, and this is why, like, if I'm thinking about like the future of technology, it's so impossible to break big tech. Like, okay, Apple has not released one fucking AI thing. They own devices in America.
Yep.
Globally, they do not, but America, they do. At some point, they have to release something AI related.
And they will.
Yeah, and they have all our messages.
They have more data than anyone.
Yeah. Location
other than
data.
Facebook. I think Facebook has more data. Between DMs and WhatsApp, they have more data than iMessage.
I don't know, the maps too. The location data matters. Think about how much recommendation you can do for location.
I think Google's a sleeping giant. They have all their searchers.
Google, it's a shit show. They don't know what they're doing over there. I gave up on them.
I think Google's going to do the same thing Facebook did. They're just going to fire, do the 15% layoff, buyback, dividend.
Google was at all-time high, though. There's no more money to be made there.
They'll do it. Sundar needs another bonus.
Sundar might need to go. I'm not anti-Indian ever, but Google's AI play is fucking trash.
They've been the slowest.
Yeah, which is unacceptable given who they are as a company and their DNA. They were saying like, oh, Larry and Sergey are coding. What are they coding?
Coding to not be listed on the Epstein Islands.
Yeah, they're blocking that list. All right, the other big earnings that came out was Amazon.
Wait, can I tell a hot tip I got? I put it in the Discord.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it in on the podcast. A good friend of ours who's in the know in Silicon Valley. How FTX is able to return customer deposits. Because we were like, how is this possible?
Yeah.
Like, did the money come out of thin air? Was he hiding coins under the couch? Like, did they just raid the couch and they found a bunch of, sticks that had crypto numbers with billions and billions of dollars? Apparently, this is what I've been told. It could be totally wrong. So I won't stand on it, but it's being reported that everyone's getting their money back.
Yeah. I said, we talked about that.
They were early investors in Anthropic, which is OpenAI's competitor, that Google's poured in billions of dollars. And now this company's worth north of 10, 20 billion. I don't even know what the number is at this point. And
So that's the reason.
And that their stake is worth enough to return the 6-7 billion in customer deposits. If we'd never had that crypto crash, this guy would be a trillionaire.
Yeah, because he made a lot of good investments. I know one of two. It'll be a good story one day I'll share.
But it's pretty fascinating.
Great investor.
It's just a momentum. He just got fucked. I mean, he did a lot of bad things. He's a criminal. He belongs to jail. He used your money and did bad things. But
he also could have been a hero.
And think about if you actually want to think about it kind of differently, how many big banks did this in 2008?
Yeah.
With their deposits.
Yeah. Took risky bets.
It's just the vol wasn't as high.
Yeah.
You don't go down 80%. You go down 10% and then your balance sheet gets fucked up.
No, the bigger thing that is very different.
I'm not absolving SPF. He's a clown.
I mean,
to be clear,
we absolved the big banks and they committed
complete fraud. Yeah.
So they willingly knew they were taking big risk in the hope the market wouldn't collapse.
And one arm was dumping the other arm.
Yeah.
right? So one arm would sell the mortgages and the other arm would sell the shitty mortgages to investors.
Yeah. The big difference is that one was part of the machine and one was not part of the machine. This is why the machine is important. You have to be a part of the fuckery. Like, you need to be one of 20 people doing it. You don't want to be the only one doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And in big banks and what happened in 08 and in so many times in history, what's happening, big pharma, all these types of things. There's enough people that are complicit. So you can't take just me down. You got to take everyone down, which is not possible.
Because if you were to think about SBF, he squandered what, 8 billion? I think that's the number around.
No, the fraud was estimated like 50 billion when it was all said and done.
No, but customer deposits.
Yeah.
Like actual absolute losses.
Yeah. Okay.
Was like 8 billion, I think.
Okay.
Can you Google that? Customer deposits and FTX.
Yeah.
And if you think about what the big banks did, it was hundreds of billions.
Yeah.
That was disappeared. And no one went to jail.
And lives were ruined.
Families are ruined. I would argue in FTX, people were ruined too.
Why? They're all getting their money back.
Now they will, but in the last 2 years.
No one from the big banks who lost their house got their fucking house back.
That's true.
What the big banks did was far worse than
AI for the win.
What?
AI for the win.
Thank God for AI. Everyone said AI is going to save the day. It did. I mean, the fact that everyone's getting their money back, I know it fucked up people's lives for a moment in time, but you're getting your money back. You're going par.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I cared about FTX was the customer deposits, not the investors.
Yeah.
Because if you're an investor, it's your
risk. Yeah.
I've lost so much money investing money.
Yeah.
You take that risk.
Yeah.
But if you're a customer thinking your money is in this exchange, you should assume the money is safe.
Yep. Great. Good for them. I'm happy. I want to move on to Amazon earnings. Amazon also reported better than expected results. These are just bonker numbers. I want to share with you. They were expecting $166 billion of revenue for the quarter. For the quarter. They came in at 170. They did $4 billion more than expected.
Yeah.
Advertising was moderately up. AWS was flat. What drove the business was e-commerce. That is what's driving Amazon again. Revenue jumped 14%, and it's because of shopping. Record-breaking holiday shopping season closed out a robust 2023 for Amazon, said Andy Jassy, the CEO. So everything we hear about retail, the economy, Amazon has said a completely different story. Have they just crushed everyone else?
So I think you've talked about this on previous podcasts. So you think it's Chinese sellers? The fact that commerce is this high?
No.
That are skirting the customs laws or whatever?
Yeah, so there's an element of that. I think from an e-com, and I'll give you an example.
11 billion, by the way, is how much customer deposits were in FTX.
Okay. So the grand scheme of nothing. Not a lot.
Not a lot compared to 08.
Yeah. It was like $500 billion.
I mean, the government TARP was 700 billion to save the banking industry for these idiots that are still in power.
Yeah. All of them.
All of them are still in power.
Yeah. No one went to jail, by the way. Kind of feel bad for SBF.
Poor guy's in a shitty jail.
What?
They didn't put him in the white collar.
No.
He's in the real jail.
Yeah. So when you think about Amazon, I think the things that people forget about Amazon on the e-commerce side, yeah, they have the Chinese sellers. They've benefited from that. But the real thing that they have so like today in Ventureland, people backstop these companies endlessly, right? And the idea that eventually you have lock-in where customers never leave. Maybe that's enterprise software. Maybe that's consumer, whatever it is. It's very rarely ever fucking happened, right? Most of the time, you have to keep spending money to keep acquiring customers. Amazon, I'll give you an example. There are brands on Amazon where it is considerably more expensive to buy these brands on Amazon than it is on any other site or at the company's store of that brand. There's like, I know 10 off the top of my head. Because of the convenience, the consumer will continue to shop there. They have won with convenience and customer satisfaction. I mean, think about it like this. Is there a house anywhere in, let's just take our bubble in LA, where in front of their house, they have 10 packages a week, 50 packages a week?
Probably 50.
50. Domination. We're never leaving. Is there any chance of anybody ever stealing Amazon's business? Will there be new customers that come and they shop? Like I say, let's say if you're 18 years old, can Walmart get it? Yes. Can Shein get it? Yes. Can TikTok get it? Yes. An existing customer, they're not changing them. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. The only complaint I have on Amazon is they need AI to make their boxes more
efficient,
geometrically efficient. Because you have this big ass box and there's like a lotion.
It doesn't matter. You know how much money they're making? They don't give a fuck. They're like, we'll burn the environment to the ground. Hey, they're going to give you this bar of soap and give you this big ass box. Because you know, they do have AI. You know why they give those boxes? It's because it's how they fit those boxes into a truck.
Right.
So they give you the shapes based on the truck they're trying to fit into. It truly is like, it's one of the cases where like Amazon's one of those companies. Like if I remember, Facebook turned a profit much earlier in its cycle. Amazon took a long fucking time.
Yeah, Amazon wasn't profitable, I think, for the first 15 years.
Yeah, and so
a lot of people were thinking Amazon's going bankrupt.
Yeah, and I think now it's clear. Like AWS gave them a ton of leverage, but they just have found their rhythm, and the e-commerce is unbeatable. Unbeatable. They're going to do like $500 billion in the next couple of years.
Yeah, no,
annually.
I mean, it's a monster, and
it's basically just America.
And I know Walmart has a strong e-commerce business, but I don't know anyone that shops on Walmart.com. I know brick and mortar, obviously,
huge. They do more. They do more revenue.
Who's going on Walmart.com opposed to Amazon?
I would say
it's the same prices. There's no edge.
It's got to be exclusive product. That's the only reason why you go. Something that Walmart has that Amazon doesn't.
And while we're talking about e-commerce, Axios, I got one of the newsletters from them that everyone's talking about e-commerce, but 84% of retail is still brick and mortar. There's been no dent.
Yeah.
So that just means consumption has just gone through the roof.
Yeah.
That 16% of e-commerce is still so freaking big.
Yeah.
At 84%, it's still people going into the stores.
Well, the 16% of e-commerce, half is Amazon, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, but my point is the pie just got bigger and the distribution didn't change. Because I don't know the numbers, but what do you think it was 15 years ago? 90-100 e-commerce to retail, brick and mortar?
90-10, you mean?
Yeah, 90-10. Couldn't be that much different.
I would say it's lower.
84 is a pretty staggering number.
Yeah.
That means everyone's still going to the store.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is grocery definitely swings it hard. Most people are not grocery shopping delivery. Even I still grocery shop fucking 3 times a week in store, despite also complimenting with delivery. But if I need something, I am not ordering it online. If I need something like right now,
you'll just drive down the street or whatever.
I mean, I literally walk. For me, I walk down the street and go get whatever I need. I needed a biscuits today. Walk down the street, go get biscuits. It took me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think it's like,
but I think that's back to like kind of our original point about how the American consumer is such a pig, that there's so much of the pie that everyone can win.
Yeah.
Brick and mortar can win. Yeah. E-commerce can win.
Yeah, because there's great. Costco's an incredible brick and mortar business. It is an insanely valuable company. And then Amazon, insanely valuable company. Shout out to America.
Just keep spending.
Ben. Speaking of spending, looks like Spotify locked up Joe Rogan again.
Yeah.
$250 million deal. What? I didn't see the time horizon.
The details aren't.
And it's not exclusive.
It's not exclusive.
Does that
Now
mean-
he's back on YouTube, back on Apple.
Oh my God. So he's going to make a fortune.
He's back on everything. So it's unclear the details.
Maybe it could be. I mean, I'm not paying all that money for not exclusive.
Or they're just like, hey, we need to get more revenue, and they own the ads.
Yeah. Okay.
So they may own the ads. It hasn't been released.
Okay.
So we don't know if the YouTube revenue goes to Spotify or does it go to Joe Rogan and he just gets his $250 million.
Okay. That's fine. This is like an advance.
Yeah. And the number of years hasn't even been released.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, so Spotify has spent a lot of money on podcasts, and it's been publicly reported that they've lost a ton of money.
Yeah.
So clearly he's the only one working.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume so. Podcasts just don't, like, unless you have Joe Rogan or whatever, your top 5, like, and I still don't think the ad dollars are there. I don't think advertisers appreciate how important podcasts are. Like, every brand Joe Rogan that advertises on Joe Rogan is insanely successful. Insanely successful.
But he's one of the few.
Yeah. All right. In some disappointing news, LA lost the World Cup to fucking New Jersey, the finals.
Yeah.
The finals are now going to be in Giant MetLife.
Yep.
That's 2026 because of over what, grass?
No, I think the quarterfinals are in LA. So FIFA's going to make sure there's grass.
Yeah. It's just they chose New York.
They chose New York.
It's the summer too, isn't it? It's hot as shit in the summer.
Yeah, I think
LA was the place to be for the World Cup finals.
the Cronkies just overplayed their hand probably.
Oh my God, such a big fumble.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I was actually
Especially like given who the players were that were involved. It was like the most important people in LA that were lobbying for this, because I would suspect if the World Cup finals were here for a weekend, it's a $200 million economic impact between restaurants, hotels, everything, plus the game, the festivities. Got to be $200 million.
I mean, you know what? Like, New York will probably appreciate it more. I feel like
But
sports
the stadium's not even in New York.
It's in New Jersey. That's what I said.
Yeah, it's not New York.
No. And
I mean, we went to the Super Bowl.
It's just not as good as SoFi either. Straight up. It's just not.
No, it's not even close. SoFi's
the
an
best
incredible
stadium in the world.
MetLife is now kind of dated, to be honest, even though it's an amazing stadium. What is that, 15 years?
Yeah, I mean, we've been to every stadium. And globally, I know there's no stadium that keeps up with the NFL stadium. SoFi is so fucking good. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and because of how far removed MetLife is, you're not going to get the economic impact. We went to Super Bowl in New York. It didn't feel like a Super Bowl.
No, because the city is so busy as it is. And then if you're just coming for the game, you'll just stay in New Jersey. The fuck do you care to stay in the city?
Yeah, why do you want to go stay in the city? And hotel prices weren't crazy when we went.
No. It's also freezing. All right. Last topic. So, big topic for business people this week was a Delaware judge voided Elon Musk's compensation package that he signed a few years back.
10 years ago.
10 years ago, when the company was worth $60 billion. Basically saying, if I reach this revenue goal, 7, 10 years, whatever it is, or this revenue goal, this market cap, that I get a $55 billion payday.
So yeah, the company was worth $65 billion, and he said if he can get it to $650 billion, he gets a $55 billion compensation package.
The shareholders at that time was like, yeah, whatever.
They all approved it.
Yeah, but because it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're going to 10x this company? Fuck you, take it. I don't give a shit. Then the Delaware judge nullifies it. Insane to me. This is communism.
This is really bad. And this is like, I have my bones to pick with things Elon does. He 100% deserves that $55 billion.
Yeah.
He 10x the company. He took the risk.
Yeah.
He said, if I do this,
Yeah. Pay me.
pay me. And everyone approved it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Everyone approved it.
Yeah.
So what is the rationale?
Why is this? Because he said it's too much.
What's too much? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Bezos is worth $250 billion or whatever the hell
Yeah.
he's worth
Yeah.
because he built one of the greatest companies of all time.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I really, and I hope even the people that disagree with a lot of Elon's rhetoric, because I know he's very public now, just kind of isolate this from just a business perspective.
It's ridiculous.
It would disincentivize anyone that wants to build a business. Because imagine, like, you're building a business right now. Imagine if, you sell for $1 billion and a judge says, no, you only get 1%.
Kill that motherfucker.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's insane. When I read this,
And think about what he did. He revolutionized cars.
transportation.
Everyone's an EV.
Yes. I mean, when I go in California specifically, you go anywhere. It's like you go to a grocery store, like 45 Teslas.
Yes.
It's the number one selling car in America.
And you have to separate Elon,
Yeah.
the kind of personality, to this is just absurd.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk about the Neuralink.
They's planting chips.
Unbelievable.
And you can control your phone and computer from your brain.
So the first person was implanted last week, and all that happened was that the chip actually was able to connect. So they haven't done anything, but
He's going to figure it out.
its potential to solve like cerebral palsy.
Everything. He's going to figure it all out. I've always been all in on Elon.
I'm all in on Elon, the business person. I just don't like his
I like it all.
social.
I like the
political
shit
stuff.
talking. I like it all.
He's a little, yeah.
He's
He's a genius. Whatever.
Yeah, he's allowed to be a little kook. Well, I'm sad for his loss of $55 billion. He's going to get it.
I mean, should go to Supreme Court.
Yeah. We know how that's stacked.
Yes.
He's good there. All right, shout outs. First one from Alex. I want to give a shout out to my friend Kaylee. She lives in Melbourne, Australia, and hosted me at her place for 2 weeks while I attended the Australian Open. Your hospitality is appreciated. You rock. Oh, that's hot. I would love to go to the Australian Open. Next, from Dimple. A big shout out to my friend Shiv for getting engaged this past weekend. Her and her fiance are both big Cathys. Wishing you both the best. Congratulations, guys. And last, from Daniel. Shout out to the resident liberal Anand for wanting to go to the border to see things for himself. Question everything. Take me with you, though, please. I speak Spanish.
I think you need to know Mandarin.
What? So if you saw 60 Minutes, apparently it's all Chinese people coming across. It's even crazier than we thought. I think with the people that are crossing, if we could do like a full survey poll, I think America, their heads would explode. Are they just
handpicking these like random spots where they know that no one's getting stuff? I really want to know, because if you were to drive from Mexico through to San Diego,
you have to go to customs.
You have to go through customs.
Walk. It's a lot easier. No one stops.
And they're
you.
stopping cars. They're searching cars. They're searching trucks.
You shouldn't do that. Even if you're American, there's no reason to go through that. Just walk over. Go have a nice time in Mexico. Go to Cabo. Do whatever you want. Walk back. Why do you want to wait in line? When you land back from Mexico in LAX, you have to wait in the line. When you land in Mexico, you have to wait in the line. If you just choose to walk right over, you have to wait in line.
I really want the full deep dive because we're getting all these clips. It's a lot of clips of
it's real. You just don't want to believe it. It's Sleepy's letting everyone in.
I don't know if it's Sleepy because these are Republican states. They're crossing Texas.
Not in Texas anymore. Now that they have the National Guard, it's plummeted.
Let's see. Let's see the data.
It is the data.
Where else are they going? Florida? New Mexico?
No, it's California now.
But California, they have the armed guards.
Not at the border. Not the entirety of the border is not protected. It's just not. We need that wall.
I don't know. I really don't think we get the full scope of this, and we get the.
I think we do. We get
the
people don't want to
clickbait
believe
video.
it. They don't
It's
want to
not
believe
about believing it. I think we get the.
We know
clickbait
the numbers. The numbers are staggering.
We don't know the numbers because no one's tracking them.
CBP is Custom Border Protection is tracking.
We saw the 60 Minutes video. Who's doing the hand counter?
I've heard from many people that the border. I've seen videos of this. They have a fucking tracking. You don't think they have fucking image recognition and AI at the border? Are they that stupid? My Ring camera has more.
I mean, what 60 Minutes showed made it seem like it was like walking up to the office here.
That's what I'm saying. You saw it. 60 Minutes. That's mainstream liberal media has now just given up and said, well, we got a problem.
We need to go to the border.
I mean, we can.
We need to go before the election.
Yeah, well, because once Trump wins, they're going to clean it all up. All right, guys. We'll see you this week. Have a great week. If you're in California, stay dry. Talk soon.